You coming? Oh, now you're coming. Okay. You're coming too? All right. Just whatever they want to do. Yeah, okay. You want to go up with mom? What's that, babe? All right. Yeah, I mean, Finney's just sitting right here. He might decide later on. You're going to stay right there? Where's Pops? You got Pops? All right. All right. You going to stay here or you going to go with mama? You can stay here? Okay. So we just... Okay. All right. Do like my man Boss Tweed. Whip that like button. Whip it good. How dare you, Boss Tweed? That sounds racist. How double dog dare you? Minnesota. I'll dry snap that like button. Minnesota, where our esteemed governor Tim Walz is from. Tim Walz, that guy's a true hero. Carl's in the house. He's a masculine presenting trans lesbian here to tickle that. I don't know, dude. I highly suspect I don't get 100K by tax day 2025. I average about 25 to 30 a day. And then when I did my video on why I'm voting for Trump the other day, I think I lost 20. It's funny, man. I did a video yesterday where I said I love Jesus, and some guy said, I'm an atheist. I'm unsubscribing. Dude, we're actually getting a thunderstorm coming through here, so it looks like the Wi-Fi says it's fairly good. We have pretty big Ernesto is coming through here, so hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Here's Tom back on the moon with Elon. Tom and Elon are up there on the moon, smooching each other. Man, I don't think I'll get to 100K anytime soon. Let's see how many. Let's check out my video I did on Trump and see what my analytics say. The idea that the guy says I'm an atheist, I can't subscribe to you because I love Jesus. With that said, it's hard for me to take atheists seriously. We got a lot of atheists in right-wing circles, and it's hard for me to listen to these guys when they don't believe in a eternal creator. It's like I'm just like, huh? You think this? Literally, I can't take someone seriously when they think this is just all happenstance. Like this is just like a spilled milk becomes a milk carton. You know what I'm saying? Just by accident, by happen. I think that's probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard about life. I'm more willing to believe we've landed on the moon than this just happens because of a random sequence of events. It's like literally, in my opinion, the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And yet people still, how dare you say it? Big Bang. It's like, well, I don't believe the Big Bang either, but that doesn't disclude God. I mean, God can certainly create the Big Bang. The whole thing. I mean, remember what they think about evolution. They literally think you take a piece of paper, and this is so dumb, like the Big Bang. You take a piece of paper, you poke a tiny little hole right there. It's even smaller than this, even smaller than that. That's where all the energy that ever will be, ever was, came from. Something smaller than that. That's their thesis or the hypothesis, their thesis, whatever it is. It's like the stupidest thing ever. Like, what? Yeah, don't you know? All the energy that ever is, ever will be, ever was can fit in this thing that's even smaller than that. And just out of nowhere, we have this. It's so dumb. All right, let's see how many people I've lost. And I don't deliberately try to lose people. I just think it's kind of funny. Let's see here. My Trump video. Wow, my Trump video on Social Security bill got 37,000 views. Holy smokes. That was a lot. Wow. That's crazy. Why'd that video take off so much? My normal views are probably 3,000 to 4,000 within the first 1 or 2 days. Some go higher. If I get more than 10,000, I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, right here. Oh man, the video I did where I'm voting for Trump. Here's why. I only got 3.2 thousand views. That's weird. But my video that said Trump Social Security tax bill got 37,000. I don't get it. That's weird, man. Anyway, so here we go. I'm voting for Trump. Let's see how many people I lost in this video if I can do that. Oh, I can't do that there. Hold on a second. I thought I could in this thing. Right there. There we go. I lost 19 subscribers. 19 subscribers in that. That is funny, man. That is funny. Let's see my how many subscribers I got on my other Trump thing. Let's see here. I got 37,000 views. Let's see what we got there. That's kind of funny, actually. How do I do it? Hold on a sec. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on a second. How many did I get? Did I lose? I got 15. I got 115. Wow, I got 115 from that. So I made up for them. That's good. There we go. I wonder if I could find a way to find out what my worst performing video in terms of losing subscribers was. I don't know. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, it's kind of. I think if I did one that says, "Is Tesla a cult?" I think I lost a lot of subscribers for that because a lot of people love Tesla, dude. If you love, I got no qualm with it. But it's just this idea that we're gonna have electric vehicles is another stupid thing. That they're just gonna electric vehicles are gonna be everywhere. Josh, don't you know? Don't you know? I'm like, no, they don't want you in the vehicle at all. It's a problem. All right, so we got Tom's in the house. We got Gordo in the house. We got Jill's in the house. Saw her. Carl, Kirk, Rochester, New York. The Rochester Americans. Cute humor's here. Right on. The libs won't allow Joe to go viral. Josh to go viral on YouTube. That's okay. Staying under the realm is okay by me. Man, you guys got to watch my man Kwame Brown. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, watch. I'm gonna see if I can't pull up his. He did a great video today. Kwame Brown was the #1 draft pick in the NBA. I think I said this last time, but he does some really good political analysis, and I very much enjoy it because it cracks me up first and foremost. I always want to laugh. He's straight up. Oh, this is too funny. Big Whitey is destroyed. That is funny. Right here. Where's the one I just? I'm not gonna find the video. I posted it. Kamala Harris gives illegals thousands of stamps and cash, 26 billion to the Asians, but nothing to the blacks. Let's see. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Oh man, where's the one he just posted? I'm not gonna be able to find it. Anyway, it's funny. I'm not gonna find it. All right, Aaron. I'm just wait. Why is this a bus live? I thought I was subscribed to this channel. Why is it showing I'm not subscribed? Hold on just a second. I'll see if I can't find it. Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. Yeah, whatever. It was funny. Anyways, that was a pretty good channel. So definitely give Kwame Brown's channel a look. Sarasota Ford in the house, another Ford in the house. So I'm going to definitely do more seminars. So I got the seminar I got coming on in Cleveland. I got 5 RSVPs. You know, that usually means between 8 and 10 people. I got 6 RSVPs, but one is just my 7 p.m. one. And I'm not sure if I only get one per, I'm not going to do it, or 2 people. We'll see. And so I got 6 RSVPs, 5 to my 1 p.m., which is interesting because normally the 1 p.m. ones, we're always the worst draw, always. So we do 3. Me and this guy Rich would do 3, 10, 1, and 7. Sometimes we do 10 and 7. Sometimes we do 1 and 7, just depending what the situation was. The 7 p.m. was always the highest turnout. So it's very interesting in this regard. The 1 p.m. is the highest. Now I don't know if that's because retirees or not, but that's interesting to me. So I'm very interested to see if that continues on. So anyway, I'll be going to Houston at some point. I'll be going to Florida at some point, 100%. Absolutely. I mean, the vast majority, well, not the vast, the bulk of my clients are in Tejas, Florida, California. I'll certainly be going to California at one point as well. I like doing it, man. It's fun, man. And then let's see, I'll go, someplace. I'm trying to think. There's another place I'm missing where I got a bunch of clients that I can't remember off the top of my head. But certainly in Georgia, 100%. But anyway, so I'll be doing that, and it's kind of cool. So it's good. I'm very much looking forward to it. And these are all clients, so I'm not, they're not paying to get in, but it's a good experience. It's good fun. It's good to meet people face to face, and it'll be good. So I'm very much looking forward. So remember, Cleveland on August 28th, I'll be there at 1 and 7 p.m. in Independence. And I forgot what it's called, Independence. So if you want to come on out, see your old buddy Josh. If your client is free, if you're not a client, it's 50 schmackaroonies. Got to keep the lights on for sure, but it'll be a good time. and I'll have some of my books there for you all to, if you want to buy them, you can, and I'll sign them for you if you're nice. All right, so we got another Minnesotan. Tell me something good. It's all good in the hood. Joe says Jesus doesn't care about politics. 100K weird, probably YouTube hoax. Yeah. Just got back from 2 weeks in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Upper Peninsula. Miss Josh's witty banter, says Krista. Right on. Josh, you have 3 videos, 30, 35, 60K. I mean, I have some videos, like one video, I almost didn't even do it. My highest performing is like 800,000. It's crazy. And I literally, I did not like that video. I said, I'm not going to do it. I said, ask you to just post it. And it was crazy. Yeah, haters, yeah. Trump is not good for business. Oh, I completely disagreed. Trump is good for business. That's why everyone talks about Trump all the time. Who did I ban from the? I didn't ban anyone from the Trump video. I didn't ban anyone. But I don't know what's going on. I don't get why people are saying this. Yeah, don't forget to fondle the like button. Sean, did you get my email? I emailed you earlier today. Yeah, Q Humor should have got banned. It's too late now. Q Humor should have been banned a long. Yeah, Steeler country. No, I do. Yeah, Pennsylvania guy come to Pennsylvania 100%. I don't know what Creatio ex nihilo. I don't even know what that means. I think that's Latin. Tom's trying to show he's so smart with his Latin skills. Tom, you get look, dude. I'm just a caveman from Peaks Island, Maine. Tom, if you think I understand Latin, you cray cray. Hey, we got Joey Torres in here, right on from Corpus Christi, Tejas. All right, there you go. Boring. What's boring? They can't handle the dark side of the moon. 100%. It's dude. Josh can't ban. I'm not real. I'm a bot. Here's that the Harris team thinks that the Harris team thinks price capping food is an issue to run. Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, I'm all about that $6,000 tax credit. I mean, I think her freaking down payment thing's stupid. You know, $25,000, flip and do. But I'm all about the $6,000 tax credit. Well, I think Trump should say no. Now that Kamala likes children, let's ban abortion and make more tax credits. I'm all about that, 100%. Let's get it done. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Like they're not going to freaking price the margins on grocery stores like 1%. The idea that these grocery stores are freaking, again, we got some kind of a Hurricane Ernesto going through, so the connection might be bad, even though it looks kind of light outside. The idea they're going to price cap this stuff is just stupid. It's not happening. This is the point what I've been saying for years and years and years about the Republicans. The Republicans do stuff that allow the Democrats to take advantage of it even more forcefully later on. It's crazy. It's crazy. The Republicans, TSA, the EPA, affirmative action, TSA, Department of Homeland Security, all this stuff. You know, the FBI was big. The Republicans loving them some FBI. It's just this, and then that allowed the Democrats to take over. And I mean, this is just the nature of the beast. Yeah, right. Don't right. We'll get the same idiots who cause all this to fix it. I always think it's funny when Kamala says, "We're going to do this, we're going to do that." You're like, I think you're in charge right now, there, lady. I'd probably go to Maine, Denise, just as an excuse to get up there. I don't think I'd have a huge crowd, and that's okay. I don't need a huge crowd, but if I'm going to go to a place like that, I need to make enough money to at least earn my costs. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably go to Maine just because I'm a homeboy. You know what I'm saying? It'd be fun, and maybe all my ex-girlfriends will show up. I'm just joking, literally just joking. I don't really have any ex-girlfriends in Maine because I left when I was too young. I mean, I had a couple of girlfriends, but they nothing that. I mean, it's no big deal. And I don't have any connections to Maine whatsoever. But you know, I have a number of I have a few clients in Maine, and I like Maine. Maine's a good place. I had a client, Brian, who said he could round up some people for me, and this is a referral from another client I had, and so it turned out he couldn't, which isn't shocking at all. And he was kind of, I don't want to say pressuring too strong a word, but he was kind of adamant. He goes, "I can round up a bunch of people for you." I said, "Sweet." And then when I was talking about retirement planning, he goes, "Oh, the people I thought I could round up aren't interested in retirement planning." I said, "Well, it was strange to me." So it was okay. I'm not mad at this guy at all. It's kind of got me off the rump. I've been wanting to see if I could do this for a while. You know what I'm saying? And when this guy said, so we were going to do this back in June, and then for some reason it fell through. I can't remember why. And then I said, let's do it. And he said, let's do it in August. I said, okay, let's do it. And then we kind of ghost each other a little bit. And then I said, well, I'm doing it one way or the other. I just want to see if I can get it done. And then he emailed me and said, I can't get anyone. They're not interested in retiring. They're still going to work for a couple more years. And it's not his fault because they were all congratulatory when he retired. He thought for sure they'd be interested. So I'm not like mad at him or anything like that. I thought I was going to have a decent crowd just from what this guy could round up. And this community is pretty close. Like the guy that was referred to him to me was in that same community, a tribe, if you will, and but not the tribe, if you're saying. But anyway, and I'm not mad. I'm somewhat disappointed because he's kind of adamant he could get it, but I'm not. It's okay because I've always want to see if I could get people to come just from doing YouTube videos or my email list. I've done Facebook ads about 6 years it's 6 years ago. Damn. Where I was doing seminars like I did. I just want to see if I could do a seminar for Rhode Island estate tax on Facebook as a webinar. And I got 15 people just from doing. Hey, we've got Bruce Dexter from Facebook. I don't remember Bruce Dexter, but I appreciate you being here, brother. But I was surprised. I got in 2018, I got 15 people just from Facebook ads on my webinar I did on Rhode Island estate tax. And I was like, wow. And I wasn't expecting, I didn't make any money. I just want to see if I could do it. And it did. And I said, man, and Facebook ads have changed a little bit. I haven't used them for a while. I mean, I've used them since then. But I also did Facebook ads to do a seminar here in Georgia in June of 2018. I got 30, 35 people to come out. Again, I didn't charge anybody. I don't think I got any clients from it, but I was just seeing if I could do it. I was interested that I was able to get that done. My Facebook ad skills are very, very rusty. So, but I might go back in there and see if I can't round up some people, so I'm charging. I don't want anyone to come in for free unless they've already paid me because that's not, I like clients will come. And that's the thing too. A lot of people, when they get these invites for seminars, they think it's, they're going to be like, oh, I'm wasting this guy's money or time by showing up. I'm just telling you, you're not, dude. I've said this before, you might be a plate licker. A plate licker is just someone who comes to eat and just leaves. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. A seminar that's sparsely attended is worse than a seminar that's attended by 80% plate lickers. I'm telling you right now, I've done them all. A 3 to 4, we call them buying units. A buying unit would be, Josh and Charlotte would be one buying unit. If you get 3 buying units and no one else, that's not a very good seminar because it makes you look like you're not very popular. And popularity is a big deal in this stuff. I'm just telling you right now to gain clients. They don't want to think like, oh, this guy isn't very well received. He's not very popular. He couldn't get a big turnout. I'm not sure I want to do business with him. I'm just telling you right now. So if you got 3 or 4 buying units with 15 plate licking buying units, I can almost guarantee that you're going to have more success with those 3 or 4 buying units, even if there's 15 plate licking buying units. I can guarantee that because there's more interaction. There's more people in there. There's just a better feel, better vibe for the seminar. I've done them all, man. And I'm telling you, the ones that only got 3 or 4 people, they always fall on your face, even if those are wanting to be buying units because they're just like, oh man, I don't know. But for me, I just said, if I'm doing it, I'm going to do it. I've had some success in small seminars, but not much, not where it's worth the effort. That's for sure. So if you get those things, emails or, things in the mail, man, if you want to go, you know what I'm saying? You're not committed to anything. You just you give a fake phone number, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. But certainly go. You might learn something, you might not, but you'll actually help the guy. I'm just telling you right now, the guy knows there's a sunk cost. Because what he's doing is he's paying per head for the number of meals, and so basically he's paying $50 a head. He says, I got 30 people I'm going to do whatever it is, and if 20 people show up, that he still has to pay for the 30. I'm just telling you right now, this is the way it works. So if 20 people show up, that's basically 10 people who did not show up. He still got paid for the food for those people, even if they didn't show up. I'm telling you, this is how it works. And so don't be hesitant to go to these seminars. So along for my thing, I don't provide food or anything like that. But even if my clients show up, because I've never met my clients in person. You see what I'm saying? So, the 6 people RSVP'd for me in my Cleveland one are all clients I've never met ever. And it's a good way to say, hey, man, it develops more loyalty, develops more kinship. And it'll be fun too. And then they can ask questions and stuff like that. So it's all good, man. And so anyway, if I do a seminar in Portland, Maine, and you're like, I don't know, I don't want to waste Josh's time. No, if you're a client, just come for free. I'm telling you, it makes me look good, 100%. Especially if there are other people in there who aren't clients who might be inclined to work with me. So anyway, that's the ins and outs of the seminar routine there. I've done hundreds of these things, food, not food, in libraries and freaking. I've done them at PTA meetings. I've done them at freaking in the graveyard at midnight. I've done them all over the place, and it's been a long time since I did one here. The last time I've done them was in 2018, but they're fun because Ohio is God's favorite state. Right on. Okay, yeah. Well, I wasn't out. I don't know if I was ever out of the market fully. I might have been for a little bit. I mean, I've been. If I was ever out of the market fully, it was very shortly, and it wasn't because I was market. I can't. Yeah, I don't. I forgot. But anyway, it's just a short amount of time. Look, when I say I'm in the market, I'm in VTI heavily. I got long bonds and I got cash. So I'm not. That's what makes me feel good. It makes me feel. I might have been in the market when I was moving money around, and I just was hesitant to pull the trigger to get back in. I think that's what it was. I had what I have. I had some. I forgot what it was. I had something I had to sell, and then it just went to cash. And I said, when should I? And then I finally just pulled the bullet. And I said, I'm going back in. Come hell or high water. I got a nice sunset out now. Oh yeah, it's nice. But it's just random, Josh. It's just random atmosphere. Oh my goodness, there's not God's creation. But yeah, if I was out of the market, a very short time. It was. And now the thing is, don't forget, they're fun guy. I got 4 kids. I got a mortgage. My wife wasn't working back then, so I had pretty expensive healthcare costs and all that stuff. So if I was, it's because I wanted to make sure I had enough cash to pay the bills if things went to crap. But I mean, at some point, you just gotta say. So my portfolio right now is perfect for me. I don't even check the market. I have no clue what the market. I mean, I see, but I literally don't pay any attention because I know I got enough cash to pay a number of bills. I go to a long government bond, which won't go bankrupt. If I need to sell that, I know I'll at least pretty much be back to even. I'm almost there right now after being trounced for the last year. And then I got my VTI, and my VTI, if I have to touch it because things gone south, well, that sucks. But hopefully that doesn't happen. To pat the like button, yes, Denise, pat it. That'd be Toledo, close to me. It's not too complicated. Could someone tell me how to do the orange? Could someone tell me how to do the in orange thing? I like the in orange thing. What are you talking about, Penelope? Someone tell me the in orange thing. Need the like button. There you go. Need the like button. Oh, there you go. Yes. I got an Amazon box. I'm a first-time home buyer. Give me $25,000. Yeah, Mark Reed. People say Trump is good for business. If he got secretaries, I don't believe he's lying about the tariffs he wants to impose. He said today, we impose tariffs, may pay the tariff. Okay, I'll get it. I'm F. Yeah, exactly. Anytime the government gets involved, it makes the prices go up. I don't understand why people can't understand this, man. The government gets involved in healthcare, prices go up. Government gets involved in student loans, prices go up. The government gets more involved in housing, prices go up. I mean, this is not, it's just the weirdest thing. Clueless Cammy. Kamal's just not smart. Kamal talks about the cloud. All right. Josh, ever watched Trout and Coffee, a channel right up my alley? No, never heard of it. Trout and Coffee. I haven't. New Jersey EWR ATC, aka bad gas. Okay, I'm not sure what that means there, Bruce. Oh, you're bad gas on the bad gas on YouTube. Is that what you're saying? EW. What the hell is EWR ATC? Brucey Bruce. All right. Free steaks at the seminar. Yeah, ribeye, right. Yeah. You got a cardiology appointment. Oh, how dare you, Andrew? I'm more important. Hey, what's up? We got Kevin Hawthorne from Florida. We got my man at Northern Capitan. I just applied Charm in my pearly yellows. Maybe free photos with Pablo for those who buy a book. Oh, that's a good. Oh man, I should bring Pablo. How awesome that to be, bring Pablo. I got a family man. Just move in for a weekend for my daughter. Still coming right on. You should at least provide cookies. Yeah, freaking only chocolate chip. Hey, James. What a cheapskate. You're not on X, Jill? Oh man, I love being on X. Actually, I can't say I love it. I don't. I enjoy it more than I thought, man. But it is a time waste, that's for sure. Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun. Pablo retired the moment when you brought him home, 100%. Newark. Okay, there we go. Newark. Gotcha. What's ATC then? Air traffic control. Right on. Brucey Dexter. Trump is not good for business in a second term if he's telling the truth about imposing a tariff on every item from every country we import from. That's his proposal. 50% China. We'll see. All right. So anyway, let's jump into what's his name? Craig Israelsen's stuff here, because I've been playing around with this a little bit. All right. So this is Retirement Analyzer. Right here. Can you all see this? Yeah, sweet. Hey, Nora. Right on. All right, you got it, man. Looking forward to it. Haven't seen you around lately. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we can go to portfolio data. All right. Now this is Craig stuff they can get at this. What the hell is this website called? 712. 7. Is it 712? Yeah, 712portfolio.com. There it is. Oops. So you can get his website at this stuff at 712portfolio.com. He'll give you $100 discount. Just say, hey, I'm getting it through Josh, or I saw you on Josh or something like that. Just mention my name. Promo code Josh. I don't make any money off it, but I'm not Ben Shapiro. Making money on everything that freaking moves. But anyway, if you email Craig, you can get $100 off this. So it's like half price. All right. So anyway, check this out. So we're in 2024. We got $1 million. All right. We're going to have our portfolio 65 years old. It really doesn't matter. We're just saying because these portfolios run for 25 years and 25 years old. I'm sure there's a way you can change to 30 years. That's fine. But anyway, we're running for 25 years. It's going to be a quarter in these 4 allocations: stocks, large, stocks, small, U.S. bonds, and cash. Our portfolio is going to cost us 25 basis points. All right. Now, what I'm doing here is the average return, raw index returns 1926 to 2023 for large caps was 8.24. No, that's not right. Let me go to what the hell is it called? Portfolio. No, it's not Portfolio Visualizer. It's what the hell is that freaking portfolio? What's that? Hey Marie, cookies for my seminar. I'll go to Publix and I'll buy 2 dozen cookies for the seminar. Oh, you don't think you can change it for 25 years, Tom? You might be right. If I get a chance to read Dash poem, totally goes with quick. Can you email me that, family man? There's no way I'll remember it, man. Email it to me if you would, or email the link or something like that. Guys, update the other day. Right on, Bruce. Brucey Bruce in the house. Right on. I don't remember seeing you live on here. Well, Bad Gas. I remember seeing Bad Gas. Yeah, I just don't remember seeing the name Bruce Dexter on the YouTube stream. But I know you, brother. I know you. Thanks, Marie, for the cookies. By the way, my wife brought home 4 cookies the other day from someplace. 4 chocolate chip cookies. Let's just put those away. They went in once, went in twice, went in 3 times, went in 4 times, and they're all gone. They were so flipping good. If raisins were added to that, just take me out right now because that's disgusting. It's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself for adding raisins to chocolate chip cookies. It was called portfolio calculations. That's what it's called. Portfolio calculation. Portfolio calculations. No, it's not. Man, what the hell is it called? Does anyone remember? Oh my goodness. I'm going to find it. Hold on, everybody. Hang tight, ladies and gentlemen. Hang tight. Portfolio calculations. Political calculations. That's what it's called. Political calculations. Political. There we go. Political calculations. All right. So let's click over here. So Craig is saying the raw index returns on large is 8.24. That seems low to me. And I want to go to political calculations. And what we're going to do, and I'm just wondering if Craig's not using dividends. And he might be right. I don't know. It seems low now that I think about it. So let's go to political calculations. And we're going to go to S&P 500 at our, what happened? Political calculations. We're going to do the S&P 500. U.S. patent awards correlated with American cheese consumption. That's funny. The S&P 500 at our fingertips, right there. Our most popular post. And we're going to have to, what do y'all see now? All right, hold on just a second. We'll go here. And we're going to show you guys right here. Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do, Craig was saying from 1926? Yeah, 1926 to 2023. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1926. Oops. 1926. Right there. To 2023. Right there. Calculate. Yeah, so we got. Now I know this is large. He might just be doing the Dow. I bet he's doing the Dow. I don't know though. So index return with full dividend reinvestment is 10.4. I don't know. So Craig's got 8 point. Oh, is that because? Let's get 8. So we got with dividend reinvestments 10.2. Excuse me, 10.2. That's the S&P 500, not the Dow. I wonder if Craig's using the Dow. Why would we use the Dow? All right. Well, I'm confused. Yeah, we're just gonna run with what Craig has because we're gonna change the data anyway. That's Yeah, go to right here. Go to 712 portfolio. Oh, is it 20? Did I put 23 in there? Is that what you're saying, fun guy? I don't think I did. No, I put 2026, 2006. What Craig put? He's got 1926 as well. Yeah, I wonder if he's not using dividends. I think he might not be using. And just Pennington, just tell Craig, say, hey, on Josh's live stream, and he'll give you half price. I don't know. I'll have to email Craig. That's okay. Along the lines is this is one of my pet peeves is my man Ed Easterling had posted, not Ed Easterling, Ed McQuarrie, who I interviewed a couple months back, professor emeritus over at Santa Clara University. And he challenged the orthodox of bond returns going back to 1920, actually really going back historically. Very interesting. So what we use, the Ibbotson charts everyone uses, that Jeremy Siegel uses and stuff. What's his name? Freaking McCory says, no, these just not right. They're not right. And he shows evidence of that. That's kind of irrefutable. And it's interesting because if we can't get that stuff right, like historic rates of returns, then how do you say this is what happened in the past? You see what I'm saying? S&P 500, it kind of is pretty easy, especially since World War II. But anytime before that, you're like, they're right on Pennington, T Pennington. But anyway, if you can't get that stuff right, if it's not uniform, then how do you know? And then there's a guy at New York State, New York NYU, some guy with an Indian name. And I looked at his stuff compared to McQuarrie and compared to Ibbotson or Siegel, I can't remember. And it's three completely different things on bonds. And I emailed Craig about it. He goes, yeah, it's just kind of, because I like Craig and I trust Craig inherently. But he's like, yeah. I mean, he's like kind of shrugging. I get it. I 100%. So this is not, I hate to say scientific, but it's not a data set on bonds in particular that is, it kind of reminds me of NASA saying we've gone to the moon. While I have other NASA scientists who say we've never been beyond the Van Allen belt. Isn't that right, Tom? It's true though. We literally got NASA scientists said we'd never been beyond the Van Allen belt. And at some point we'll be able to send people to the moon. Literally, NASA scientists say that, or at least ISS people in the ISS and one scientist. So you're like, well, what? Anyway, the point being is it's a little bit frustrating when people have so of a assumed level of trust in these guys who say these are the returns. Like, well, are they the returns like that? Actually, right? We haven't been to the moon. Look, Tom just says actually. Look right there. Tom says, I said we've been to the moon. Tom says actually no. He said it right there. Record this. I said we have been to the moon, and Tom says actually no. You guys saw it here first. Tom, you're busted. Anyway, so let's just go back to Craig saying that makes you just wonder though, because if the data could be so off on bonds in particular, and I don't think if we're using Dow for the S&P 500, are we using dividends? We're using reinvestment. Conspiracy not ban him. Oh, I should ban Tom. He should be. Tom, you got to go to timeout until you come back with a correct answer. Tom says, oh, yeah, look, we're making friends. Tom, if he's going to be banned until he comes back with the correct answer that the monkeypox can be solved with more and more, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, my goodness. Oh, where's my man from Maine? Oh, what's the hell's that guy's name? I can't remember off the top of my head. He knows what I'm talking about. A couple months ago, we're bashing him like crazy. Say, yeah, when you were back during Noah, I forgot his name off the top of my head. I can't remember. I think he was taking a vacation this week, as a matter of fact. But we're all making fun of him. It's pretty funny. It's funny. There's Philly Fox. Phil Fox. All right, Phil Fox. What up, man? All right, so anyway, let's go back. I wish I could keep focused. The bane of my existence is not being able to keep focused. Sorry. And what, Tom? Oh, my God. How dare you? How dare you, Carl? That's the guys. It was Ted. That's right. Ted was it. Yeah, he was there. That's right, Ted. That's what it was. Ted Westerfield. And he took it like a champ. He was good. He was good humored about that because we were going a little bit longer than we probably should have been, but he was having a good time. It was fun. I felt bad for Ted. I don't want him to be our. And then the next week, for some reason, we're bashing him again, and he was fine with it. All right. So anyway, whatever. It was funny. It's fun to be the bully. I've been bullied so many times because of coronavirus. Because of even before that, my take on VAXs, bot VAXs. If you know what I'm saying. I've been bullied so much, like you, on my take on firearms. Oh, you want all the kids to die? No, that's why I want people to have firearms. How dare you? They tossed out the moon landing to distract everyone from the Mars colony construction project. Oh, man, that's funny. The Mars colony construction project. Oh boy! And yet we've only drilled 7 miles down into the ground. That's what I always finds funny. The Russians drilled 7 to 8 miles, but hey, we're going to Mars. It's all good. It's all good. Look at that, Marie, Denise, Jill, my 3 favorite people on here because they're ladies and they can take it. How I'm misogynist. How much testosterone flows in these channels here. They can take it. Denise, Marie, Jill. Who else we got on here? Penelope in particular because she lives in California. If you're in California, inherently you got thin skin. Ted was on the expedition. Ted was on the expedition. John, freaking let me stay on topic for heaven's sake. Oh my goodness. All right. So we got million schmackaroonies. All right. So we're using 8.25 for a large cap, 8.94 for small, 4 for U.S. bonds, and 3 for cash. All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm reducing the rates of return to 6.25 for large stocks, to 6.94 for small, to 3.03 for bonds, which is lower than I should, but we're going to go with it, and 3.25 for cash. All right. So we're going that. All right, we're charging 25 basis points as a fee. All right, and we got a quarter. Got a four quadrant portfolio that gets rebalanced every year. All right, so now what we're doing is we're going to do the reverse RMDs. We're starting out with 10%, and we're dropping it by 20 basis points a year, 10 to 9.8 until all the way down. We're at 5.2 by the time we die. So our average withdrawal rate, and I tell you, this is so important. The way we're going to show you this is why this offer is pretty cool. After this, I want to go to Dan Kulibert to show you a real world example, though, which I think you'll find interesting using the Wellington fund. So our average withdrawal rate is 7.6. We're starting high and we're going low, but even going low is still 5.2. Now remember, as Craig said the other day, you can never run out of money if you're taking, just ignore you. You can never run out of money if you're taking a percentage. I cannot stress this enough. Some guy said this not too long ago. I thought it was pretty interesting. If you're here, you got two people here, right? And they each go 50% closer to the next guy. All right, they'll never quite touch because they're never. I'm not going to explain this right, but if they keep going a half, that's what it is. They each going a half to the next guy. They'll never actually touch because they're not. I'm not going to push this, but they're just going half of what it was, half of what. So basically, it'll be like 1 millimeter apart. They're going to go half, so they're half a millimeter apart. Then you see what I'm saying? It's the same kind of thing here. If you're ever doing it as a percentage, you can inherently not run out of money. I just cannot stress this enough. That doesn't mean you have much money to spend, but it means you can't run out of money. If I have 5% of $1 million, 5% of $10, I can never run out of money. Hope everybody gets that. And that's kind of what we're doing here. We're saying we're going to take 10% a year of our portfolio, then we're going to drop it to 9.8, then we're going to drop it to 9.61. And then watch what happens. Pretty interesting. Percentages will never go to zero. There you go. Well, that's a better way to put it. Right on. Right on. See, that's why Tom doesn't believe we went to the moon, because he gets it. Just listen to Tom Lee about past and future. I don't know who Tom Lee is, James. Is that on YouTube or something like that? Tom Lee. I'm not sure who that guy is. All right. So if we go to this, so what's going to happen here? We're going to come up here and we're going to see, here's our average portfolio return of 6.74. And that includes my adjustments I made over here. All right, so it includes my historical performance adjuster. So our average return is 6.74, which seems reasonable. Our average withdrawal from the portfolio was about $6,000 a month. All right, so if you look at this, our average withdrawal about 7.6. Our average withdrawal from the portfolio was about $6,000 a month. All right, that's pretty good. More than a third of the time, the annual withdrawals increased from the previous year. And that's very interesting. It increased from the previous year, even though we're telling the software to decrease the amount. Hope that makes sense. This is big. I think this is big. Now, this is using historical rates of return, but I'm still reducing it. And yet, over a third of the time, the average withdrawals increased by more from the previous year, even though we're telling the software to reduce it. How often do they keep up with inflation? Only 6.2% of the time. Now, people say, well, that's, if we're doing the reverse RMD method, inherently, you've got to understand that we don't think inflation is a driver between portfolio, between our retirement, because if we did, we'd do the 4% rule. If we really think we got to keep up with inflation, then you should do the 4% rule, because that does keep up with inflation. So while a lot of people look at this, only keep up with inflation is 6.2%. Yeah, by design, because we don't think inflation is a driver of our portfolio success, because we think at the end of the day, most people spend less and less money as they age. And we can see that, just like I said, ask your neighbors, ask your friends, ask your grandparents, ask your parents. So we're starting out big, and then we're ending at still 5.2. All right, now check this out. The average balance after 25 years was $917,000. We started with $1 million. The average balance was $917,000. The balance grew over $1 million 40% of the time. 40% of the time did the balance grow over $1 million. I mean, I'm sorry if someone say, "Hey, these are the averages." That's pretty good. I think that's a risk I'm willing to take, but it gets better. So we're gonna go over here to retirement budget, and I just want to show you something. This won't be reflected in the next screen I show you here, but watch what happens. So here's our monthly. Make sure everybody's still clocking here. I was playing with Fidelity. I was playing with a FI calc. Fire calc. I was playing with a FI 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 calc. I was playing with a F Tom Lee on CNBC. I don't know who that is, Tom. James, I don't know who that is. I ran all the way at 25. And then oh, yeah. I mean, you go to 25% withdrawals, and you never hit zero because you're withdrawing at a lower and lower base. But anyway, so check this out. So here are monthly withdrawals: 9,000, 8,000, 9,000, 8,600, 8,200, 7,800, 7,400, 7,100, 6,800, 66. So they're going down. Watch what's going up here. Here's our Social Security: 3,500, 36, 37, 37, 38, 39, 4. You see what's happening here? And then we have our spousal benefit we have. But anyway, you can see while we're taking more from our portfolio on the front end to complement our Social Security, by the time we're down here, our average withdrawal is 4,193, where our Social Security is 6,331. So our monthly average of Social Security has gone up from 3,500. I'm only using 2.5% COLA here. What happened right there? Just saw something. Oh, to simulate. Oh wait, okay. Anyway, so we're going from 3,500 to 4,700 to 6,331. So we're increasing it by almost double, and here we're reducing it by basically more than double. But you can see our monthly average when you combine the two is 12,665. And look where we were right here: 12,535, 12,582, 12,655. So essentially what's happening, our Social Security is replacing. So our Social Security is going up while our portfolio withdrawals are going down because we're taking so much off. So they kind of offsetting each other, if that makes sense. What does this? Oh, this gives you a whole much more than Right Capital in this regard, because this gives you where you can mess around with the numbers and all that stuff. Right Capital is for retirement planning. This is for investments, really more than anything. And he has a retirement budget. That's not near, and Right Capital is a tax stuff. But this gives you a whole lot more, for sure. And, I mean, in terms of what we're doing here. Now, you can do this in Right Capital, too. You can create, well, actually, you can't. Because Right Capital, I control the standard actually, I don't even control the standard deviations. I can control the performance returns, but you guys can't. Right Capital, I can't even control the standard deviations. Here, I don't think you can control the standard deviations, but you can control the performance, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so what's happening here is, you see right here, 12,553. It goes down to 13,391. Have we actually lost money? No. And have we grown with inflation? No. Only 6% of the time it has. But while one thing's declining, the other thing's increasing. It's freaking fantastic. All right, so let's keep going. I want to show you guys something else too. We're going to go to summary. Watch this. So here's where we start out, $1 million. I'll make this a little bit bigger. There we go. So here, this is freaking fantastic. So so we start off with $1 million, and all these, I think, I can't remember how many, 74. There's 74 rolling 25-year periods, and you can see right here we ended up with 2.271 million. Right here we ended up with 390. Right here we ended up with 398. It's crazy to think. Right here is the worst we ever done. That's when during the Great Depression, and right here in 2022 was 378. Isn't that crazy? Of these 74 rolling 25-year periods, the worst we ever done was in 2022 and in like 1931. It's crazy. I think it actually, and so here, yeah, right here. So here is our Social Security going up. Here's our portfolio balance going down. And see how see how that works? I think people get so frustrated, nervous, like, oh, I'm going to run out of money. You're like, well, A, if you're taking a percentage, you will never run out of money. B, you'll never run out of money because you got Social Security anyway. And you can see right now, in the first year, Social Security is only providing us 27% of our income, and our portfolio is providing us the rest. Right here, and I don't know what year this is, probably year 10, they're about half and half. All right, so that's exactly what we want. We want our portfolio to give us those first 10 years of a boom, of a boost, so we can enjoy it. And then we got another thing here too. Let's see, 1 second. I thought it said the actual time frame here. Maybe it was the other one. Hold on, let me go down to detailed analysis. I think is what it was. Oops. I'll be lower. There's a million different ways to skin this cat, by the way. It's fantastic. Yeah, right here. So here, yeah, right here. Oh, 1 second. Maybe seems like that's still kind of big. Why is it so big? There we go. Yeah, right here. All right, so right here. So in 1929, the 25-year rolling period is to 1953, you would have ended up with 398,000. So if you retired in 1929 and took 10%, 9.8, blah 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 blah, you would have ended up with $398,000. All right. Now that's 398,000. That's not adjusted for inflation, mind you. All right. So that's not worth 398,000 in 1953 dollars, but it's still worth something. Right. So I mean that's just a fact. You still have 40% of what you put in there initially. Again, adjusted for inflation, it's not. It's not. All right. And again, we've used modified historical rates of return. I'm only giving you 6.74 average rate of return with a standard deviation. I forgot what it was, but pretty high. All right. So anyway, so right here, we got $400,000 left. All right. Now, our last year of drawing from the portfolio, if we go back to this guy right here, was right here. 4,193. All right. So if we take why do I keep forgetting my calculator? Damn. So we got 4,193 as a monthly return, monthly what we're pulling from the portfolio. The portfolio is worth $400,000. If we go back here, detailed analysis right there. All right. So we take we're pulling 4,000 a month off a portfolio that's worth $400,000. 4,000 a month, 48,000, 400,000. We're pulling 12% a year from a portfolio. Well, we're 25 years into retirement. We only got like 5 more years left to live. Right. So you can tell me you couldn't do that for another couple of years. I mean, literally, if you got no rate of return on that money, you're pulling we'll just say for simplicity, 50,000 a year. If we have a portfolio that's worth 400,000, 400, and we're pulling 50,000 a year, it's going to last for another 1 second. 400 divided by 50. Excuse me. It's going to last another 8 years. That's with no growth at all. So you'd be, before you actually ran out of money, if you just said, I'm going to have a fixed withdrawal here, you'd have another 8 years. That'd be a 33-year retirement time. But I'm sorry, that can work. Yeah, we're really going to have Social Security. 100%, Bill. Crazy to think we don't. Gotcha. I don't post political stuff on Facebook, but we'll send you by a messenger. Very silly to stress. I agree. All right. So anyway, so the point being is, at the end of the day, we're sitting there thinking, so this is the worst case scenario, 398, and I'm pulling 50,000 a year from my portfolio. Yeah. And my Social Security is matching essentially what my portfolio has gone down. Yeah. So I actually haven't taken on the chin at all. I still have I've basically taken a little bit more than I was when I started off, even adjusted with inflation. I'm still doing okay. Yeah. It's crazy. So now we go over here. If you were retired in, I think if that ends in 1975, you'd have $2 million from your portfolio. Crazy. If you were retired in 1999, 1998, you'd have 378,000. It's crazy, and that's with lower number, significantly lower numbers. Look, stay right there. Standard deviation is 12.19, 12.19. That's with a 25 basis point fee as well. So the average return, the average was 71,000 a year. The highest was $125,000 a year. The lowest was 37,000. So if you retired right there, yeah, that would stink. But I just showed you still had the money. I mean, this was the average, mind you, I grant you, but still, average year-to-year increase was about 4,000. Percentage of time annual, so the average annual withdrawal rate needed to keep up with inflation was $175,000. And this is where everyone says, well, that's why the 4% rule is so sacrosanct, because I want to be pulling $175,000 out of my portfolio to keep up with inflation by the time I'm 25 years old into retirement. Like, but who does that? I mean, who does that? Nobody does that. So why are we so focused on that? I mean, if that's your concern, then you should stay with the 4%. I got no problem with that. I just don't buy it for 2 seconds flat. Because don't forget, we also have this thing called Social Security that's offsetting, complementing, if not supplementing, the portfolio withdrawals. Anyway, so that's pretty good. And they got tons of stuff in here. It'll show you annual returns on this. Again, this is with annual index returns reflected by performance adjustments I've made right here. So this is all 202% less than what it was. So like if you the real return in 1931, the S&P 500 was down 43%. I'm showing 45.34. All right, so I hope that makes sense. So now what I want to do is show you my man Dan Kulibert's thing, right? Because you can play these guys off each other, which is pretty cool. There's just a lot of fun stuff in here, man. And so now I'm going to show you, yeah, right there. My dad's IRA tripled in 28 years. He retired 28 years ago, probably in what's that 19. If he retired in the 1980s, no, it wouldn't be. Well, yeah, if he retired 28 years ago, it means 1996. Yeah, so he could not really have retired almost any worse time because we had the aughts. So he had those 4 years from 96 to 99, but then he got crunched in from aught to 2009, and he still's got 3 times more than what he put in, and he took out minimum distributions. It's over, Denise. Sorry. Oh boy, he's down 93. Yeah, so he's never gonna run out of his money, man. Anyway, so let's check this out. So now we're gonna go to Dan Kulibert's, and this is 55e.co. You can just remember 55 elephants, and you can buy his thing directly if you want. I think he charges $35 for it or something like that. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go. Well, that's a great question. But here's literally, this is what some of these professors say, just by inflation-adjusted bonds. Literally that simple. I just say T-bills. If it's all compounded interest and we don't have a whole lot of time to compound it anymore, why not just buy T-bills? T-bills inherently keep up with inflation. That's all there is to it. So you say, all right, I got a bunch of T-bills paying 3, 4, 5%. Inflation is 3, 4, 5%. Why not just buy T-bills? Well, the reason is, frankly, is because your T-bills, you're going to have to take out the principal. You're not just going to make so this is where a lot of people, I think, make a mistake. They don't want to touch the principal. They say, as long as I can live off the interest. I say, yeah, but if you're just living off the interest, you got to have a lot of principal to get interest nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You say, I got to have $1 million in the SP 500. I'm only getting $18,000 a year of dividend income. That's it. It's just not. You need to have like a crap load, $3 million to get anything of serious dividends now. It's nuts on the S&P 500, the broad market. So you can ladder T-bills and T-bonds. Say, okay, I'm going to borrow CDs or something like that. I'm going to spend $50,000 a year of real money. My $50,000 invest in a 3-year CD at 3% interest, so give me the equivalent of whatever $50,000 will cost me in 3 years. And then you just say, yeah, 1%. See right here, another example. This is James's anecdotal evidence, but with James' anecdotal evidence, Kirk's anecdotal evidence, Denise's anecdotal evidence, we're starting to see a trend here, which becomes empirical. Thanks, James. That's my man Craig Israelsen stuff there, and why is Dan's website so hard to open up? Anyway, so this is Dan Kulibert's 55e.co. I'm not sure why it's taken so long to respond. It's having a hard time opening up. It's getting on my nerves. You got to get that sucker going, Dan. Let's see if we can get this right here. Anyway, so now what I want to do here is I'm going to show you a real world example. I got to show it to you here. And this is where you can use actually the real world stuff, which I like to. I like to use projections. I like to use, obviously S&P 500 whatnot, but I also like to use real funds, like real things that are out there that have real track record. So check this out. So here we got the Wellington Fund. We're starting in 1966. Make this a little bit bigger. There you go. All right. Just make sure y'all can see that. Yeah. So we're at the Wellington Fund. Nothing's in the S&P 500. We got nothing there. So you got to see a big fat goose egg. So just ignore that. So we got $1 million in the Wellington fund. Our withdrawal type is reverse RMD. We're going to start with 10% a year. We're going to reduce it by 20 basis points a year. So the same exact scenario we did with Craig. 10, 9.8, 9.6, whatnot. We're going to start in 1966. Why are we starting in 1966? Because that is the worst time to have gone to retirement ever. 1966 to 1982. You could not have more risk kind of a lot. I did like Josh's video talking about how taking more risk kind of a lie. I'm not sure what you mean there, Kirk. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Anyway, so if you retired in 1966 and you could survive, it's going to be tough to ever see that kind of event again, because that's we had pretty significant bad returns and more significant inflation than we've ever seen in the United States, and a continual basis, by the way. It's weird. It's weird how Paul Volcker, our hero, but he couldn't whip inflation when he was president of the New York Fed, and he couldn't whip inflation while he was president of the chair of the Federal Reserve Board. It took him till 1982 to do it. It's almost like Paul Volcker didn't whip inflation. I wonder if something else happened to whip inflation. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right here. The paradox of debt will tell you what whipped inflation. It wasn't Paul Volcker. It wasn't Paul Volcker. Denise, did I send you this? I think I did send it to you. Did you ever read it? See if I can't find where I highlighted it. Hold on a second. I'll tell you what. Hold on a second. I'm not going to find it. Dagnabbit. He's got a place in here that shows exactly what beat inflation during the 1980s, and it was not because of Paul Volcker. I'm not going to be able to find it. Yeah, very interesting though. Let's see. Right here. Right here. The bout of U.S. inflation that bewitched a generation of economists and which has come to define the conventional view of inflation writ large lasted from 1973. 1973. Yep, you already won the game while I play. Exactly. From 1973 to 1982. This inflation was largely the function of high oil prices. OPEC strangled oil production. The Iranian Revolution in 1979 further disrupted oil. Those events drove the price of oil from $4 a barrel to 39, a tenfold increase that pushed inflation to 13.5% in 1980. So the price of oil went from 4 to 39 per barrel, which was a tenfold increase. Inflation went to 13.5. The inflation was vanquished not by high interest rates, as many believe, but by domestic oil price deregulation, which allowed domestic producers to sell their oil at over $30 a barrel instead of the regulated $6 to $15, depending on the type of oil. With that enhanced profit opportunities, the domestic industry scrambled to discover new oil fields, with the number of oil and gas drilling rigs rising 202% from 1977 to 1982. So we had an increase in the number of oil rigs they went up 200%. As a result of new drilling, North America oil production jumped from 12.2 million barrels a day in the late 70s to 15.4 by 1984. Predictably, the surge in production brought down the price of oil to $12 a barrel in 1986. Has anyone ever remembered what happened in Houston in the mid-80s? Anyone want to take a guess? Well, when the price of oil went from whatever it was to $12 a barrel, that sent inflation tumbling to 2%. Yeah, right here. The tumbling price of oil also left a lot of bankrupt drillers in its wake. And famously, however, Paul Volcker, following in large part the positions espoused by Milton Friedman, believed the period's inflation had been more of a product of the country's money supply than the growth in oil prices. And so when 1979 hiked interest rates to double digits, but that didn't happen to stop inflation, did it? No. Data from the largest countries of the world from the last 70 years demonstrates that periods of low inflation have sometimes been preceded by high money supply, and episodes of high inflation often occur without the high money supply growth. 100%. It's just, let me just write this down so I remember it next time. 163 to 64 cause and reason why inflation was beat. It wasn't Volcker. It was the price of oil. The same thing happened in the United States and in Europe and the worldwide. This last bout was the price of electricity, the price of energy. It's just the same old story. Anyway, so I'm just looking. If this guy was an oil man, now he's a big lib. This guy, what's his name? Richard Vague, big lib. Just because he's liberal doesn't mean he doesn't understand things. I mean, I don't like liberalism. The liberals are crazy. But at the end of the day, just because they're liberal doesn't mean, oh my God, he doesn't know anything. At a point, oil went down big time, and many. Well, that's why Houston got smoked in the mid '80s. Smoked. A major recession in Houston, real estate crisis, the whole thing. In fact, that's one of the reasons in Texas you can't borrow up to 70 home equity line. It can't be. I don't know if it still is. It probably is 70% of your fair market value of your home. That's the max you can borrow as a home equity line. 70% of the fair market value of your house. Right. Most banks will give you 80%. Now they're going back to 90%. But in Texas, at least when I was there, is 70%. And why? Because what happened, the oil crisis in the late 80s, crazy, mid 80s. All right, so let's go back to this thing here. So what we're doing here is we're showing Wellington at $1 million. We're retired in 1966. We're going to take right here. We're reducing our portfolio by 10, 9.8, 9.6, the whole thing. So our first year, we're drawing $93,000. The next year, remember, the markets were down 6.6%. All right, so we got $1 million minus 6.6%. We're drawing $93,000. We're left with $840. Markets went up 8.2. All right, now what happens here is that's our start balance. The markets went up 8.2. We're drawing $89,000. We're ended up with $820. So already in the first 2 years, we're down $180,000. Year three, the markets went up 7.9. We reduced $84,000. We're at $800,000. You can see what's happening here. But what happens in 70? By the end of 74, we're at $393,000. $393,000. All right. So our reduction has gone from 93,000 down to 36,000. But now the markets are starting to come back up. 25% 75, 23% 76, down a little bit 77. Another big gain in 79 and 80. So now we went down to 393, but we're starting to come back up. So we went from our withdrawals went from 93 all the way down to 36,000. But guess what? By the time 1980, let's see, right here, 1990 runs, we're back up to $1 million, and we're back to taking 65,000 a year from the portfolio. Not too shabby. And again, we never ran out of money because we're taking a percentage of it. So basically, we were able to survive the 1966 and 1982. And this is the worst market we've ever had because of high inflation and low rates of return. And yet, yes, we did have to reduce our expenditures quite a bit. But remember, we took the 4% rule. Let's go back to 4%. Right? Inflation adjusted. We're going to do $40,000 a year. Watch what happens here. We're running out of money in year 22, with a 4% rule. Because we're taking a fixed amount of money each year adjusted with inflation while the markets are getting pummeled. So here we can see our portfolio is going 735, 542, 522, 501, 387. And we're taking $104,000 out on a $500,000 portfolio. Are you kidding me? No one's going to do that. No one's going to take $104,000 out of a $500,000 portfolio. No one's going to be, that's a 20% with distribution rate. We're only 14 years in retirement. No one is going to do that. So we've increased our withdrawals from 41,000 in 1966 to 104,000. That's a 2.5 time increase in 14 years. No one's going to take $100,000 from a portfolio that's only worth $500,000. If you do that, you're freaking stupid because you're going to run out of money, man. No other way around it. But I'm only taking the 4% rule. Yeah, well, good luck with that. I'd rather any day of the week do a 10%, 9.8, 9.6 a percentage as opposed to saying, well, the 4% rule said I could survive. Well, it didn't survive with this mutual fund. That Wellington fund, it did not. Now, if we go back to 1982, watch what happens here. So we're going to show 1982 because this is the best year to retire right here, 1982. Actually, what do you say? 1975. Let's go to 1975. We're taking 4% a year. Now we're only taking 43, 46, 49, 58, and we're never not only not run out of money. By the time 30 years goes by, let's see here. By the time 1975, 2005 goes by, we're sitting at $24 million. So hey, you died with $24 million. Well, because you retired in 1975 as opposed to 1966. And you're like, man, I should have spent some more, but it's so worried over here. And that's why I said, okay, let's do my reverse RMD right here. Let's see what it looks like there. Reverse RMD. Oh, we started 125, 136, 115, 107. Look at that. Never went below six figures ever, ever, ever. And when we died in 2005, we left $4 million. So if you retire in a good year, well, I don't know, Denise. A lot of people don't like me because I'm not afraid to be political or not afraid to say I love the Lord. But and I'm frankly, to be honest with you, I do rub some people wrong. I can't lie to you. And I'm not very good at he, him, and all that stuff. That's okay. But we're seeing now the idea of the 4%. Look, for the millionth time, I'll say this every single time. The 4% rule is revolutionary because it changed the dynamics of what people before were thinking about when it came to retirement planning. It allowed people to recognize that there's a volatility involved in there. And so that changed things. The drawback about the 4% rule, of course, was assumed that your spending goes up each year with inflation. So people got stuck on that. It was just dumb. It was just, I mean, it wasn't dumb initially. It's dumb now. We have the evidence. And now the evidence is so obvious that very few people do not. Now they'll use things like the retirement spending smile. My man Blanchett writes about, I don't know if he still does. I got my book here. One of my books, I got that. I don't know what the hell I did with it. The retirement spending smile, that your retirement spending will go down. So you're about 85 or so, then it'll go up sharply because healthcare. The evidence of that is very, very lacking. I mean, so there's some evidence of that, more so than the 4% rule for sure. But the evidence of that, the average Joe will have this retirement spending smile. It just isn't there. Can I explain exactly all right. See, Carl, you know, Carl. Exactly, Dexter. Look at my man Dexter. Bruce, excuse me, Bruce. Well, the price of energy is a drive of all economic. I don't get why people don't get this. It's crazy to me, man. All right. So, Carl, the RMD method, and the only reason I say the reverse RMD is because you're starting with a low amount and you're building up. And you're building up the most inopportune time because you're starting with 3.6, 3.8, 4. And you'll never run out of money with the RMD method either. It's impossible because you're taking a percentage off. And so what the reverse RMD says, no, we're going to put that on, we're going to turn that around. We're going to say, why would I want to spend the least amount of my money my first 5-10 years of retirement? That's when I'm freaking fun. That's when I want to party like it's 1999. Just can someone ban this guy? I'm just joking. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either. But some people like to have some kind of strategy, though, Tom. So for me as a financial planner, says withdraw what you want and never look back. That's not very illuminating. If somebody says, "Well, I want $100,000 today," I say, "Well, you only got a $500,000 portfolio." Say, "Well, then the next question is, what's the max I can withdraw safely?" And that's kind of where we're going here. So for you, withdraw what you want, never look back. That's fine. No financial planner is going to follow that method because they'll say, "I want to draw with what I want." And we'll say, at some point, you could be taking too much. Or at some point, you might not be taking enough. Anyway, so this stage, Carl, we're saying, okay, instead of starting at a low and increasing it every year when your life expectancy is shrinking and your ability to enjoy that is shrinking because now you're 83 years old with no teeth, why not take it when you're 60, 66, 67, 68, take it most, but saying to yourself, I'm going to have to reduce some of my spending as I age. I'd be like, yeah, inherently that makes sense because you're going to do that anyway. Inverse correlation. Well, exactly. Right on. That's a great way to put it, Carl. 100%. Inverse correlation. But it's more than just the inverse correlation, the IRS rule. It's just common sense that says we have more fun the front end of retirement. Let's spend that money then, recognizing I want to, need not want. Yeah, but the same thing though, Tom. I mean, I get what you're saying. Tom's like, hey, I'm just gonna take what I need. Look, I can no call that. A lot of people in financial planning would say that's not. We need to have more better design, a different methodology, simply because we got to know what you need. You might not be able to afford if you keep at this need. If you're aggressive after the Great Recession, 100%. The same thing if you're aggressive after the 73 and 74 time frame. So that's the thing is a lot of people. I don't think this guy's on here anymore. Who was it? Yeah, what happened to that guy? I'm drawing a blank. He was a good guy too. Oh, my man, Eric. Eric, the cheese head. Whatever happened to Eric? He's still on Facebook. Yeah, I'm sure I didn't offend him. Maybe he just got sick, your old buddy Josh. But Eric, he got out of the market in 2008 or something like that, and he never got back in. And it just sucks, dude. That's what Craig was talking about the other night. He's like, once you commit, you got to stay the course. If you're going to commit to a 60-40, you've got to stay the course. If you're going to commit to an 80-20, stay the course. If you commit to a 20-80, stay the course. Don't change midstream. And it's easier said than done. I'm telling you. Look, like my man Fun Guy was saying, didn't I get out of the market for a little bit? I think I did for a little bit, a couple months, if that. I can't recall exactly. Because, I was like, dude, things are slowing down, man. YouTube was paying me less. My client base wasn't expanding as much. You know what I'm saying? And, it's all right. See you, Denise. God bless. Don't forget to caress that like button. Yes, caress of steel. I used to call it caress. And people are like, what the hell's caress? I said, this is what Rush's album is, Caress of Steel. It says caress. Anyway, so the point being is if you could have stayed the course, you're looking good now. It's like I was talking to this guy today about doing Roth conversions, or is it? Yes, I can't remember. It's like the earlier you do it, the better off you'll probably be, simply because if you're investing because you think the markets are going to go up. You see what I'm saying? And if the markets are going to go up, then you want to be in Roth as early as you possibly can. Now, the drawbacks, the taxes you got to pay, I grant you, but still, and that's why you don't want to do Roth conversions if you're going to spend the money in 2 or 3, 5 years. You need the time. But if the markets, if you're investing because you think the thing you're investing in will be worth more in the future than it is today. If you think that's the case, then Roth makes sense. Stocks make sense for sure, because you say they will be worth more now than they were when I initially invested them. The drawback is when you're pulling money from it. Because now you're not just investing, now you're reducing, all right? So if you're reducing while the market's falling, that's a double whammy. Market's falling and you're pulling money out. And that's where you get your ass handed to you. And so the whole different ball game is I do not want to have to pull money from a market that's falling. You want to avoid that. YouTube is paying everybody. I mean, yes, my understanding is Penelope, yes. This started to come around a little bit, but from 2021, there were people who thought they're making a career on YouTube. I mean, people that should never really been on here. You know what I'm saying? And I made like a couple months. I made like $9,000 on YouTube in 2021. Is crazy. I said, man, maybe I just do this for the rest of my life. And I was quickly made aware that no. I mean, I don't know what like Rick Beato was making. These guys, I don't know. But and I don't know if they're taking a lump. I don't know. But I've seen enough. I've heard enough creators that their revenue's gone down. Mine has significantly. I mean, I'm probably down from the top of 2,000. I probably make, like I said, pay my mortgage. So I think I make about $4,000 a month on YouTube. Now, dude, I'm taking 100%. But at some point, but I'm not going up. I'm very leveled right there. You know what I'm saying? It's just level. That's okay. It pays my mortgage, and more so. I mean, not my mortgage isn't $4,000 a month, but it pays an extra, basically $1,000. I already pay an extra $500 in principal. So with I'm basing mortgage about $3,000 a month for everything, and I pay $4,000 a month from YouTube into my mortgage. Anyway, so the point being is, yeah, it's gone. And I don't know if I don't know, but I've seen enough that most people are saying, and the ad revenue's gone down from companies and whatnot. The cash flow's getting tight, and whatnot. During the election, always goes up. In the fall, it always goes up. So you can already see a little bit of a bump this last month because Kamala and Trumpster and whatnot. But we'll see, and whatever, man. But see, the thing is, I like doing it. It's fun for me. I got some guys I know who just they get really like in depression because of the comments they get. I just don't care. I'm like, whatever, dude. I literally don't care. Why don't I care? I don't know. I'm not gonna say I have thick skin. I mean, some people piss me off, but I'm just like, I literally matters not to me. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And if there's idiots, like one guy posted it, this guy used to be on the channel quite a bit. I'm not gonna mention his name. On my second channel, he posted, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard." I deleted his comment because you're gonna be an idiot. I'm gonna watch it here. You can criticize me and you say, you can say I'm crazy because I don't think we went to the moon. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. But if you start saying this is what I'm a professional at, what I'm good at, I know what I'm doing when it comes to this stuff. If you start saying stupid things like it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I know why he's doing it because he does not like my take on reverse mortgages. For some reason, this guy really got his panties all tight when I started talking about, hey, I think reverse mortgages are a good thing. He's like, I was like, why? Just anyways, weird. Some of these guys need to be right. You know what I'm saying? And when they think that you're wrong, they need to not only show you how wrong you are, but how right you are. They are. And so this guy says, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you what I do with this guy. It's like, oh, I just said I'm going to do that. It doesn't. I fell for the end of the world mentality and went to too safe. My advice for the youngsters: have more faith in the future. Most people travel more and spend more when they first retire. 100%. Jill says she was aggressive after 08 with contributions. I retired 12 years later, sitting pretty. Right. Now there's no reason for me to be aggressive. 100%. 100%. Stay the course. 50-50. But I mean, I just, so if people are going to be like, they call me out for being, idiot on things that, I'm not an expert NASA guy. I think it's all fake. Look, that's fine. I don't care. But they call me out when I am good at, which is this. And just, they say, I mean, they can disagree with me, but they call me stupid and you're an idiot. I'm just going to get rid of them. I have no desire to have that on here. It's like Owen Benjamin, we talked about his comedy. If people start saying you're a horrible comedian, it's like, dude, I know I'm not. He was on Jay Leno show. He's, was in Adam Sandler movies. You know what I'm saying? He hosted all kinds of things. He's just not going to put up with people who are just doing that as a way to make themselves feel good. I argue with more people about whole life insurance than anything. Well, dude, it's Kirk, but I'll tell you right now, I got a guy that I know that I used to go to high school with. And he is convinced, and I said, Steve, you're wrong. He's convinced that he has a $50,000 cash value whole life insurance with Gerber, that Gerber thing. He's paying $33 a month for 18 years. I said, and he showed me the thing on it. I said, Steve, this isn't cash value. This is death benefit. I was like, oh my goodness. Now he's going to be hating whole life insurance because he didn't understand the product. And I'm just like, Tom's been 80-20 since 77. Well, Tom, you're only, hell, dude, you're only 22 years old. How could you be that? But anyway, so I'm just like, this is what pisses me off is that now he will hate whole life because it's going to be hard for him to recognize that he made a mistake. And he might never admit it, and that's fine. But the mistake was made. Either he didn't read the fine print or he was misled. I think he just didn't read the fine print because it said $50,000. It said that's your coverage amount. It didn't say cash value. And anyway, the point being is now he'll forever hate whole life insurance and thinks it's a scam. And it's just not a scam. The whole idea that whole life insurance is a scam is so friggin' stupid. Doesn't mean it's great, but to call it a scam, and what the hell? Same thing with reverse mortgages. Same thing with firearms. These things are scams. And it's like, give me a break. But I literally don't get the animosity towards the whole life insurance. It's very, very odd to me. Yeah, I mean, there's maybe different products you could use, like second to die whole life insurance. Second to die survivor life insurance is probably a better legacy than whole life, but that doesn't mean whole life is bad. Anyway, yeah, I mean, so I'm using a 10%, right? That might be too high. That's what I'm working on. I want to see what survived the best from 1980, probably 1962. From 1962 to 1982. I want to go back. I want to see what survived the best. Now, I'm not saying that's what you use, but if I got $1 million and you start with 10%, that's $10,000 reduced to 9.8. That might be on the high end. Initially, I was thinking 12%. 12% is too high. It might be 9%. In fact, when I was running some Monte Carlos, it was about 7.5%. Right? Monte Carlos are different than historical rates of return. They're using probability scenarios, which may or may not come to fruition. So I was doing a couple of things. I was using Craig Israelsen thing, which is based on historical rates of return, historical standard deviations, with my own ability to adjust the data in terms of returns. I was using real live numbers from real SEC approved rates for return from various mutual funds. And now I'm going to use Monte Carlo. So I'm going to use three things to look at it. And that will be the premise of the book I'm working on. Ignore the fools 100%. That's the only way to do, James, to just ignore them 100%, man. I mean, so like, I don't mind arguing with people. I mean, after a while, I'll throw a couple, they'll throw a ding at me. I'll throw a ding at them about stuff like the moon landing. It doesn't bother me. But after a while, I'm just done. I'm not going to be in this perpetual argument with some people. That's okay. It's stupid to do this. Stupid to waste your time. But it's kind of fun. I also like to, kind of, I don't mind getting in the ring there a little bit and, get people, what I'm saying? Like, look, I don't know if the earth is round. I don't know if it's flat. I have no idea. No one has any idea. I'm sorry. You don't know. You haven't seen the round earth. You don't know. Do I think the earth is flat? Not necessarily. Do I like it sometimes when people say, oh, like this guy was posting the other day about this proves the earth rotates. And he proved the earth rotate because you could see the stars in the sky move because he had a camera out there. Proof the earth rotates. That doesn't prove the earth rotates. It's like, no, it doesn't. That doesn't prove the earth rotates. That just shows the stars are moving. That could be the stars rotate around the earth. In of itself, that doesn't mean the earth rotates. I'm just like, ugh. But so I like to go, oh, you idiot flat earther, or whatever. It literally doesn't bother me. I don't care. I'm not a flat earther. I used to not even be anti-vax. And then when COVID came around, I said, yeah, this is a bridge too far. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking people do whatever they want. I found it's not, the story has been very, very misleading. And I said, the story is very, very misleading. I don't trust it. But I get some people, they probably have a need for it. That's okay. Now I'm anti-vax 100%. I'm like, you can do it. I don't care what you do. Do whatever the hell you want to do. It doesn't bother me in the least. But for me, that stuff ain't coming anywhere near this bottom line. No sirree, Bob. I mean, look, I ruined it with stupid tattoos. I don't want anything else going into my body. That's for damn sure. And 100%, Dean. Do whatever you want to sleep at night, dude. 100%. That's what I say. Whatever allows you to get a good night's sleep, it's all good. And so I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And so like people could be pro-vax, all that stuff. We draw a line when they say you need to be vaxxed or you will be removed from polite society. And I say, well, we are enemies now because that's insane. That's an insane argument to make. And so whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. And I'm 100% anti-abortion. Oh, but what about what's this one guy trying to argue with me the other day? What does he say? What the hell does he say? A mother's life was at stake. Blah, 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 blah. I forgot what it was. And I can't remember. I said, yeah, and I don't engage in that argument because that's a stupid argument to engage in. I said, oh, so the Democratic platform says very explicitly, in the rare cases that the mother's life's at stake, we allow for abortion. That's what the Democratic platform says. I just want to be clear. Because we know that's what they do. It's a bait and switch. They say, hey, oh, so you don't want the mother to live when the mother's life at stake. Oh, by the way, our platform says, guess what? I am 100% Philadelphia. They're dumb. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, look at this thing, dude. It's like there's an American flag in there. You can't even see the red anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that's supposed to be red right there. This is so old you can't even see it. We're getting drunk. So I had this eagle done by a real professional. We're getting drunk one night, and I had this guy do a American flag behind the eagle. You can't even see it. It's like really, and I have a stupid Viking on my back, another drunk guy, and then I had a stupid thing on my ankle that's just dumb. Back then it was cool because no one else had them. You're like, I'm in the army. I'm cool with tattoos, and now everyone's got them. I mean, only people who got tattoos now are like bartenders and gay people and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Urbanites, hipsters got all their stupid sleeve tattoos. Like now everyone's got sleeve tattoos. It's embarrassing. I'm like, I don't want to be associated with these people. None at all. Yeah, right on. Hey, there's John Swoford, right on. Anyways, it's just, I mean, literally, if I was, same color as your, right, exactly. Look at that. I mean, it's like, look how just, oh my goodness, it's so old. I got that in 92. You know what I'm saying? And then this one I got in 93. The American flag I got in 94. And the one on my ankle I got in 95. And Frank, I probably would have had a whole lot more if Charlotte didn't come along and say, I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I think they're ugly. And she didn't tell me I couldn't get any more. She goes, they're just ugly. I don't like them. That's okay. And then everyone started getting them in the mid 90s with Dennis Rodman and then Allen Iverson. And all the white kids had to show how tough they were with their tattoos. And then the rappers got them. Well, the rappers got them. Then the white kids had to get them. It's just like, oh, it's so friggin'. It's embarrassing. Do tell anyone about the fight, Josh. The left late. Well, 100%. 100%. They'll exactly. They'll say you're a racist and all that. I really don't care. They can say what they want. Actually, to be honest with you, I was going to get a Celtic cross on this arm right here back in '93 to offset to go with this one right here, and I can't remember why I didn't get it. I just forgot, but I didn't get it. And all right. That's but yeah, and at the end of the day, the funny thing is Celtic spirit. Very few people are now getting offended by being called racist anymore. I'm not one of these white pride guys. I'm not. I just don't care. But with that said, what is being happening here, as you can see it a mile away, is the more and more the great replacement happens, the more and more white people are going to say, we didn't vote for this, and we're going to have to partner up to defend our own people like every other group does. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think it's a bad thing, but it's inevitable. And it's too bad because I don't want to be part of a racial group. I want to be part of a Christian group. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to be like Jason Whitlock was talking about this guy today, this preacher out of Memphis. He's like, black people have two gods, the one of color and the one to what else are you saying? Like it's kind of like the Democratic Party, LGBT. This is black preacher out of Memphis saying black people's two gods now are the color of their skin and LGBT. That's what he said. He goes, God has no color at all. You know what I'm saying? And I 100%. Jesus certainly didn't die for white people any more than he died for black people, vice versa. And he said the idea that these black preachers are now, essentially Southern blacks are promoting the LGBT agenda is crazy. There's a guy who posted, Rob Dreher, on Twitter today, a Catholic church in Italy, and they were promoting is LGBT week. This is a Catholic church in Italy with gay flags and stuff. I was just like, this is insanity. I mean, just think about it. We're going to think about it. We're going to promote adultery because homosexuality is a sin in the Bible. It's just a fact. But it's not the only sin. It's not the only sin. Adultery is a sin too. This is where I think the anti-gay people go wrong. Like homosexuality is so bad. I said, well, look what else is so bad. All kinds of other stuff. So don't just focus on the gay stuff. You got to focus on all the other stuff. But the problem with the current movement is if we don't promote it, means we're phobic. I'm not scared at all. Not phobic in the least. But just think we had Pride for Adultery. Hey, this can be our adultery month. Pride for Masturbation month. Pride for, I don't know, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Month. No one would say that's weird. No. Why would we promote that? We can tolerate it, but we shouldn't be promoting it. Shouldn't be promoting it. And as such, they sit there and say, this is the problem. When you're promoting this in a Catholic church in Italy, when you're promoting that stuff, you're promoting an inherent sin. That doesn't mean those people are any more evil than anybody else. But we're not promoting adultery, we're not promoting masturbation, we're not promoting drunkenness, we're not promoting idleness, not promoting all this. Why are we promoting this one thing? Or blasphemy? It's crazy. I don't know if they're getting less popular. I just think I think the trend has come down. I don't think it has anything to do with the concerns of health concerns. I just think everyone's saying, it's so damn trendy. I want to be an anti-trendy guy in some regard, while they're being trendy in other regards for sure. I didn't know that about Greg Allman. That's crazy. Oh yeah, dude. Tattoos on chicks is ugly as hell. I don't care what anybody says. Yep. 100%. 100%. I mean, I hate people with tattoos. No, I got my own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're stupid. I'm not embarrassed by them. They're ugly and they're dumb. As my wife was pretty smart to say 30 years ago. I don't think they're more popular than ever, Kirk. I think they're starting to lose. You can just see it on NBA courts. Look at the NBA. They're losing their appeal in terms of less and less people are having tattoos. And without question, the blacks do set a lot of trends because the whites have always been, the fall of the blacks. jazz, all that stuff. And the fact that blacks are getting less and less tattoos, I think would be whites getting less and less tattoos as well. 100%. And you're starting to see on the NBA courts, football stuff, you're seeing less and less tattoos. So I think, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the trend, Dan 50. Yeah, I don't know. You think I can't imagine that they're trying to appeal to, I just can't imagine that group of people will be freaking flocking to churches because they're providing, but maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I don't know. Anyway, I I live in between Oregon and Arizona. Kids love them. Yeah, just watch just watch NFL this year. You'll see less. Watch NBA, you'll see less. You know what I'm saying? As we see less, there'll be less. You're seeing it. Like I said, I was like listen to my son. Oh, dude, everything. I mean, everything gets infiltrated. Everything. The left is see. This is I'm not. It's not even the left so much. It's the evil people that most are happy left. They play the long game. The right wing. We always say the leftists are emotional, and they are, but the leftists, the people in charge, are not. They are friggin' beasts when it comes to the long game. It's the right that gets emotional. We get emotional, and then like rah, and then 2 years later, it's good. It's good. It's crazy, man. The right gets emotional. They'll shoot off. About 6 months later, they're done. It's like we have a hissy fit, and then we're done. It's crazy. But the left, they play the long game. Very meticulous. Very, very meticulous. So they're good. They're good. No other way around it, man. And and they infiltrate everything. Yeah, 100%. It can be less and less. Yeah, you can see it a mile away. That's good. I mean, I think tattoos are our church is infiltrated to spies or as your pastor, big lib. Like Russell, remember Russell? No, I'm Catholic, so who am I to speak on Baptists? I remember when Russell Moore was I think was he the SBC president or something like that, Southern Baptist Convention, whatever his conference, and that guy was a clown back then. I remember that guy like yesterday. That guy's even now he's on I think the board of Christianity Today, and those guys are just it's crazy what they do. These guys, and just crazy how like Russell Moore is so corrupted. It's nuts to me, man. And yeah, they do. Well, not just the white Europeans. They hate the Europeans as a whole. Remember, Giannis is European. You see what I'm saying? I mean, hell, Joel Embiid came from Africa. He's an American citizen now, but still, they don't like the competition from afar. Never mind China, not that made China, but my wife, I didn't have my wife talked to him, and she's like, yeah, we're not interested. I didn't talk to them door knocker. I would have said, what do you think about what's your thoughts on 223? And he would have been, I don't know what that is. I said, it's a rifle round for an AR-15. I said, yeah, exactly. Get out of here. Yeah. What happened to the Olympic ratings? The Olympic ratings go down? As everything. Seventh-day Adventists are still keeping the faith, though, right? Oh, the flock hates the pastor. Interesting. Flock hates the pastor. Usually it's the other way around. That the flock is liberal. The pastor is rooted. They got rid of some guys. Listen, some guy, I want to say from Alabama. I forgot who was interviewing him. They got rid of him, and because some girl, big lib, thought he was misogynist. This is like I think it was in Alabama, a pretty right wing church, and they got rid of him for being misogynist. He goes, I'm not misogynist. I'm just literally preaching from the Bible. It's crazy, man. And the like one of the board directors' wives was offended by him, and she turns out to be a big lib, and they kicked his ass out. It's crazy. And this isn't a university. This is a Baptist church in like Alabama. I forgot the guy's name, man. I forgot who it was, but I forgot who was interviewing him. It's crazy. All right, my friends, I'm gonna get out here and go read my Maeve Binchy books. A big fan of old Maeve. Big fan of Maeve Binchy. If you haven't read Maeve Binchy, you're missing out. Yeah, I didn't watch the Olympics too. They all kiss my big fat behind. But there are some good people in the Olympics. That black girl from New Jersey, She was freaking righteous. There's a couple guys and gals in there that are just crushing and not afraid to spread the truth. My man Jokey, the tennis guy, you know what I'm saying, crushing. So see rainbow flags, the local non-Catholic churches on BL. Oh, dude, it's crazy. Yeah. Well, because you're in Connecticut. It's like, yeah, I wish she just would have took it. Like I would have actually had much more respect if she just would say, "Hey, this is the way I dance. It's my expression of individuality." But being all like, "I'm a victim," that was weak. I wish she would just said, "Kept no, that's what I did. You don't like, you don't have. That's fine. But this is what I felt. It was my individuality, my unique performance." Who's for the next town over? Oh, that girl, that black girl. Yeah, she's crushing, man. Huge fan of her. Loved. I just loved. That's what I'm saying. This ain't about race. It's about love of Jesus and knowing that Jesus will return. It's going to get bad. It's going to get bad before it gets good, but we know that's going to happen. It's not. I just love that guy. If you're not listening to Jason Whitlock, you should, because he's crushing. It just is, and he just said he just interviewed this guy, and I was listening to it. It's coming back today to get ready to do his live stream. The guy's like, the blacks have given up for two gods, LGBT and color. He goes, you can't be doing it. I just think it's fantastic. All right, I get out of here. God bless. Thanks again for being here. But we'll see you. Oh, Wednesday, don't forget, we're gonna have Dougie Fresh. We're gonna have Dustin Tibbetts. Dustin Tibbetts from Jazz Wealth will be joining us live. So if you're on locals, I won't be doing a locals on Wednesday again because like last week I had Craig Israelsen. We'll have Dustin Tibbetts from Jazz Wealth joining us Wednesday. I think I said at 7 p.m. So be there or be square. All right, God bless. We'll see you guys.